What are you looking forward to? Perhaps you are being led to believe that you are going to be promoted. Stop and think. Suppose you are promoted. What will it amount to? True, you might then be able to wear a little better clothes and not be quite so pinched for money, but after all, nothing else will change. Of all the girls you know, how many of them doing your kind of work ever advanced beyond a living wage? Surely your aspirations are for more than something to live upon. What are you going to do about it? You have two avenues open to you. One is to continue your present daily grind and deprive yourself of the luxuries, the romance, and the brilliant future of a happy home. The other is to learn the things you should know in order to become successful and get your full share of the sweet things in this world while you are still a young girl and can enjoy them. This avenue will lead you to happiness, romance, and to all the niceties of life, which are so dear to a young girl. Can you afford to miss this alluring future? What are you going to do about it? Read every one of the plans which we outline on the following pages. You will find one that will make the world seem brighter to you. Class No. 2. Are you employed in a factory or at some other kind of work which you hesitate to acknowledge when you meet a new acquaintance, or are you employed in someone's home doing domestic work? If we could only make you understand the great things in life which you are missing. If you would only go to your mirror and look yourself right in the face and say, I can't do anything that will make matters worse. Here is a chance for me to better my position. Here is something I can do that will give me an experience which will pay up for my lack of education. It will teach me how to meet and associate with people of a higher rank. It will afford me an opportunity to enjoy all the luxuries of life which I have been deprived of. Instead of rough hands and soiled clothes, I will cultivate a clear, soft complexion. I will develop my natural beauty. I will wear the clothes becoming to a lady. I will do it. Today, right now, I will take the first step necessary to prepare myself for this new life. The first step is to read every single word in this book and then decide which plan you will select. Don't just read. Think while you read. Forget every single thing in the world but your future. Class No. 3. Are you shut up behind a counter in some store, displaying a forced smile to shoppers who say and do things which belittle you beyond endurance? Sometimes you are so irritated you feel like insulting them. How many days you have stood there when you were so tired you felt your legs would give way under you? How unpleasant to be greeted each morning with that close, depressing odor from the stock, a snappy command from your employer, and then finally to have an irritable woman customer who makes you show her everything in the store, after which she passes a few sarcastic remarks without buying, says thank you, dear, and walks out. Do you remember those hot, sultry days when you stood behind the counter and thought what a miserable life you were living? Do you remember when you would look at yourself in the mirror, your face all shiny, your clothes soiled, and the perspiration fairly trickling down your back? How disappointed you were! You alone could see the hidden beauty behind that form in the mirror. You alone could realize that your unfortunate position was responsible for these defects. How often a beautifully gowned woman with a charming daughter has visited your counter. How often you have envied them. You simply could not control that lump in your throat. How shy you felt in their presence. You would eye them from head to foot. Are you going on and on endlessly in this dull, monotonous strain, or are you going to muster up your nerve and take the steps today that lead to prosperity and happiness? You can no longer offer the excuse I can't afford to prepare myself for a better position. We will prepare you absolutely free. Class No. 4. Are you too proud to work? Are you one of those girls who come from a family who have tried to maintain their local social identity by imitating the practices of people with means? Have you led yourself to believe that you will be classed as one of the common herd if you engage in a commercial endeavor? Are you blindly applying 18th century customs to a period when commercial aggressiveness is a mark of distinction? Are you wasting your life away trying to make yourself and others believe that you possess an artistic temperament, when in reality you are nothing but an ordinary person with a twisted viewpoint, trying to be someone or something which you are not? You, too, have two roads open to you. The first one is to continue staying at home, depriving yourself of the luxuries and happiness in life, and be regarded as an aristocrat by 2 or 3 dozen people who don't know the difference between an aristocrat and a hippopotamus, and even if they did, it wouldn't make any difference. Of course, if you continue on this road, you have this advantage: you can get all your relations together once or twice each year and go back over your family tree and praise each ancestor, relating in detail his super qualities, etc., which should make all of those assembled very happy and proud. You will also have the advantage of being able to entertain new acquaintances, very much to their disgust, with the story of how your ancestors maneuvered from the time they were gallant knights of King Arthur's Round Table to the day they stepped off the Mayflower at Plymouth. If you happen to have any sense of humor, of course you will confine these stories solely to your relations when they congregate for the purpose of rehearsing these folklore epics. You will also have the advantage of retaining that state of mind which keeps you believing that your mentality is way above par and that people will somehow, sometime, understand and appreciate your worth to the world. There are many other advantages, which the whole world is willing you claim if you follow your present road. The other road open to you is to stop trying to keep up an outward appearance at the cost of depriving yourself of happiness. Stop trying to be a big frog in a little puddle. Open your eyes and look about you. Try to realize what an insignificant speck on the horizon you really are. Try to realize that there are millions of people in the world who have every quality, plus, which you think is exclusive with your family, and remember that the only ones of these millions that the world respects are the aggressive ones who give constructive effort to their respective communities. Remember, the world does not respect a person who only takes what nature furnishes. There is no place in America for these idlers. The day of inheriting a position that commands respect is past. You will have to prove your worth, or you will be eliminated by one of the common herd who really delivers the goods. That familiar law, the survival of the fittest, always has and always will be the regulator. There must be times in your life when you have flashes of realization, when you must see the fallacy of your ideas. You must realize the wonderful experience and pleasure which you are missing. You are going through life blindly. You will pass out of this world without knowing the real world you have lived in, for the world of your life is a myth, and like all myths, the truth will be revealed to you. Our plan will not only bring you prosperity and plenty, but will actually pave the way for you to accomplish the higher ideals which you are dreaming about. Bury your pride. Stop living for the benefit of your friends or to keep up a family tradition which is rendering every generation of your family weaker and poorer. Pretty soon the people who now respect you will charge your whole family as being lazy and worthless to the community. Class No. 5. Are you a young wife whose dreams have not come true? Do you sit and think of all your old friends, many of whom married young men who are progressive? Do you think of their beautiful homes, their pretty clothes, and their circle of cultured friends? You are glad they are situated so comfortably and happily, but you cannot help envying them at times. How your thoughts must wander back over your courtship days. You recall that your husband was the most promising young man of that set. You recall how all the other girls envied you when you were married. You recall how easy it would have been for you to have had almost any of the other young men. How the picture has changed. Somehow that promising youth of a few years ago has not been the success you were sure he would be. Somehow, he has fallen into a rut and is satisfied with a small salary. He has lost his nerve. He has lost faith in himself. He does not count the up and doing young men of your community among his friends. He does not keep up his personal appearance. Every single thing about him has changed so. He has no ambition to climb up the ladder of success. You alone realize and worry about this sudden change. You know what your friends are saying about both of you. How often you have heard them refer to someone in your circumstances, the poor thing. I feel so sorry for her. She doesn't know anything but poverty and worry. Like all the rest, there are two courses you can follow. One will lead you to poverty and hardships, and the other to prosperity and happiness. You alone can be the stimulant for your husband. You must lead the way if you expect to revive his energy and ambition. You know very well he is capable if only you would muster up and try. Are you content to go along hoping for the best? Each year, you are both getting a little deeper in the rut that will finally submerge you so deep that your old friends who are now starting on the right road will forget about you. Think how different life would be if you lived in a pretty home. If you felt satisfied you were going up the ladder instead of down, 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 year after year. Would you prove yourself capable of doing things if you had the opportunity? Don't credit the success of your friends to luck. When they saw an opportunity, they took advantage of it. We are laying right before your eyes a number of plans which will start you and your discouraged husband on the road to success. Will you pass it by?